Good morning, YouTube family. So I hope everyone is doing well and staying warm. It's a little cold out, quite a bit of snow. So today I wanted to talk about standards versus expectations because, I myself went through quite a few things recently, and I noticed that quite a few other people also going through some things. So I'm just here to help out with my personal experience and opinion. So, like, define standard, go Google it, check out the definition. Standard is like just essentially a unit of measurement, whereas expectation more so relies on belief or faith. So one thing is actually tangible and the other is more of an ideal. When it comes to, people that you have in your life, no matter what ship you decide to apply this to, whether it be a relationship, partnership, friendship, etc., you have to have clearly defined standards. If you don't have these clearly defined standards, then you kind of set yourself up for failure. So, when you're disappointed, when you're hurt, when you're let down, when you're in your feelings about something because somebody isn't meeting your expectations, you have to go back and kind of realign your standards. Because, like, for myself, I kind of won't allow myself to be around people who don't have, certain things like, and it's not out of, judgmental properties or anything like that. It's just that I know that these people, if they have the same standards as me, then we'll have like mindset and we'll be able to vibe off each other, feed each other, and keep each other motivated. So finding, just like when you're in school, the person with the other, if you have high grades or you aspire to be number one in the class, go study with the number two person or, the top three in the class, because all of you have the same work ethic. All of you have the same standard. The expectation would be that, when you all hang out, you expect your grades to go up some. I mean, that's kind of, a decent variable, but at the end of the day, it's something that just kind of, you can't really measure. So people with kids, hanging out with other people with kids. So they kind of have the standard that, well, we all have children, so we understand one another's time is very precious and limited. But when we hang out, we should be able to have a lot of things to relate to. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted because I got messages coming through. But, so when it comes to these standards and expectations, as you apply them to your life directly, in small areas, start off in school, then move on to, friendships, move on to relationships, marriages, etc., then it helps everyone be on the same page and be a more productive group of people. If you don't do that, then you're only setting yourself up for failure. And not just that, when you set up these standards, you learn a lot about yourself. What can I allow in my life? And what can I not really deal with? And what things are kind of in between? So, for example, single person wants to date, but they can't really date a person that smokes. But they got to have somebody who has a job, who has to have a car, his own place, his or her own place, because that shows a adult that is used to responsibility and paying bills. The expectation is that you're going to find a mature person. That's, the variable that's unknown. So you may find someone who meets all your standards or, most of them. But if you bend on any of those standards, you're essentially lowering your expectations as well. Because if you decide to, date someone, oh, well, they're cute, they have a decent personality, they have, 1 out of 3 of my standards, I guess I'll give them a shot. But then, you date them and you find out that they're, immature because they don't have, a rent to pay with, everything that encompasses it, all the utilities. So they're not responsible with their money. They may have been cute, they may have been funny, they may have been entertaining, but at the end of the day, they're immature. So you have to maintain and stick to your guns when it comes to your standards. Don't keep bending on your standards because a person makes up for lacking in one area with something else. Now, when it comes to expectations, that's different because that's not the measurable unit. So with expectations, it's like, yeah, well, you know, we're dating, so I kind of expect you to call me every day. With that, it's a little different. You can expect somebody to call and text you, but stuff happens. You know, everybody has their own life and their own lives to live. So when it comes to that, you may have to bend a little bit. You may not get a call every day, but, you know, you'll get a text every day. You know, that person may not have time because they have kids, etc. But you really have to sit down and write this stuff out if you're a visual learner. But, you know, just kind of reevaluate your standards and expectations out of people, and out of yourself, and out of life. Because once you do that, everything will start to look a little bit better. You know, it gets rough in the beginning because you'll realize that you have to limit yourself more so with some people that, you know, you normally may interact with every day. But they may not be good for you. So just try to work things out and figure it out for yourself. But I got faith in you. So keep your head on straight, keep your head up, and do your best. All right? It'll work out.